Restoration of the Bradford Odeon will give the city and the people of Bradford a much-needed boost. The regeneration of the city centre has been very frustrating for the public of Bradford, and whilst the city park has proved to be a step in the right direction, the Westfield situation continues to scar the city. The Odeon's revival is a more realistic proposal at this time for Bradford, and has had a huge and continuing support over the past decade from members of the public and groups such as Bradford One and Borg. A major milestone for the plans to renovate and redevelop the former Odeon building was reached in early April. Bradford Council are now considering an offer made by the Homes and Communities Agency to transfer the site for the small fee of just £1. This was subject to the HCA agreeing to provide a support package of £4.1 million to accompany the transfer of the Odeon site and the former police station. Long-time campaigner Bradford East MP David Ward petitioned the HCA and Department of Communities and Local Government to invest the funding required for these buildings. The decision for this has been reached, with £1.3 million to be invested into the renovation of the Odeon.
What the government has tried to do through the funding that's been granted is to remove the risk associated with the building being unsafe. After the additional money has been spent, it will be put into a safe, usable state. It will then still require funding, whoever takes it over for whatever purpose, to really make it a place that people want to go to. And it will depend on what the activities, what the events taking place in it are before deciding how much is required for the investment. You could get small community groups going in there, taking over parts of the building, but they are not going to survive on a long-term basis unless I think there's some commercial activity in there, funding which goes in to ensure that it's, sustainable and has a long-term future rather than staggering on from one grant, one short source of funding to the next. We're looking for a long-term future for the building.
Once the council accept the offer, they will be asking for expressions of interest between May and August 2013 from groups or developers who wish to redevelop the site. One of the proposed developments is Bradford Live. Their plan is to convert the building back to its original auditorium size, which will be capable of holding over 3,500 people for live events. In a statement, Lee Craven, the project director,
"The new Odeon would be run on commercial terms by a professional operator and would thus not require council subsidy. We would need to work closely with the council to bring the project to fruition."
Working alongside the campaign groups are Shine and Locality, who provide community support and investment. Locality have been helping and advising campaigners about the Odeon for the past few months. Shine have also been speaking to support group Bradford One for a few months to get a more business-minded approach about the cooperative model.
We've been on the patch trying to develop spaces for community benefit for about 7 years now. Shine being our flagship project and our own project. And we've helped probably 24 others around the country in various phases of community development, specifically for space that's going to have a community benefit. And so I was connected to Bradford One through our network, and it is an exciting project. We only take on projects that we're quite excited about, and we've just started working with them to try to raise the millions that are needed to make the project happen.
The refurbished Odeon would not only bring additional employment and revenue to Bradford, but its partnership with the Alhambra and Media Museum would bring much needed vibrancy to the city. The significance of these early milestone decisions in such a long-running campaign to save the Odeon from demolition cannot be understated. It shows that the people of Bradford, by working together and campaigning as one voice, have had a real impact on the fate of this much-loved building. It is hoped that by mid-2014, a plan will have been selected and that work will have commenced on the site. In the meantime, watch this space to see what becomes of such a loved and memorable asset of the Bradford City Centre.